Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be talking about Venus entering Cancer. Now, this happens on May 7th, which I believe is this coming Sunday. And it'll last until June 5th. And so if you have a natal Cancer, sun, moon, or rising, you'll be feeling this the most, as well as receiving the blessings. I think this transit's going to be a relief of energy that we've had with all these stronger energies going on, heavier energies going on with the eclipse season. This is going to be a welcome energy. And if you have a Venus in Cancer, you are having a Venus return. And this could also be a good time where you kind of go more internal to look back at the year ahead, at the past, to see, what did I do when it comes to my Venus and Cancer energies? How have I changed? How have I grown? What have I learned? What am I looking to change and transform and evolve and grow in? And you can expect to see those changes throughout the year. Um, um, Also, if you are Taurus and Libra, you will be feeling the blessings of this transit. We can see the healing fields grow. So any kind of emotional work, psychology work, counseling, nursing homes, um, even real estate, land, and um, Reiki, tarot, and astrology. We can see those fields really grow during this time. Venus rules both Libra and Taurus, which is why they'll be receiving the blessings of this transit. But Venus, Taurus, and Libra risings, to be exact, maybe not so much sun sign. You could get remnants, but I think the rising signs have the abilities to feel this a little bit more stronger because your chart is Venus ruled. When you're a rising sign, Taurus or Libra. But Venus rules Taurus, which lives in the second house. And so anytime you're talking about Taurus, you have to incorporate all the signs that Venus rules. And so this is the second house, which we've had the North Node in for a while now. We're wrapping up this cycle. We have one more Taurus eclipse at the end of the year. And so, what are we learning from Venus being in Cancer? And what more pieces of the puzzle will this bring into our evolution, our growth? And I think it waters, because Cancer is a water sign. It's going to water the earth and grow things that we've planted throughout this Taurus North Node transit. And so I think we'll really be able to see things coming into play depending on where this is happening in your chart. And so you want to look at the Cancer area of your chart to see where you'll be receiving these blessings or have a little bit more work to do. I also think Scorpio and Pisces will get some nice blessings from this transit as well. Um, And so Taurus is our savings budgets, investments, big ticketed items, so material items, the things that we buy because we perceive them to bring us some security. It could be our everyday habits and needs as well. It's also our skills and talents and the money we receive from a job, an actual working job, so a paycheck. And so we could either be investing more into our skills and talents to get more money, because Taurus has definitely over this last 18 months been challenging us to consider um, what we're worth, what is our value, and to level up in our values and realize that we are worth more than maybe what we've might have perceived previously. um, and or we're asking ourselves those questions. So getting raises and bonuses and things of that nature can be something that we could see playing out at this time for a lot of people who are doing the work and on their spiritual journey. Um, it also rules the arts, fashion, beauty, love, romance, femininity, women, pleasure, sensuality, desires, and socializing. And it's also the ruler of Libra, which is the seventh house. This is marriage, relationships, all relationships, how we relate to others, um, contracts, agreements. This can also be real estate, by the way, um, mentorship, counseling, and legal issues that we could see. So if you have any legal issues, you can see this as learning a lesson, wrapping up whatever that issue is, getting some mentorship around it, or even because Libra is the diplomat, the coach, the mentor, the counselor. This could be mediation, where we see a lot of families coming together, relationships coming together with a plan in place that says, hey, um, I commit to um, making these changes in the relationship so that um, this organization, bridging a gap, bringing people together, again, socializing in a social network of some sort, or building a social network of some sort, events that kind of do these things where you're meeting people of like mind to build on a common idea. Um, um, we can see a lot of those things kind of coming up at this time. So a lot of healing, and getting down to the root cause of what needs to be healed, and having discussions about those things, resolving those things once and for all, right? We can see a lot of those topics coming up here, which I really like. Um, Cancer is a cardinal water sign, and cardinals is action. So we might have strong reactions to the past. Cancer rules the past. Our home, Cancer is the ruler of the fourth house in your astrology chart, which rules home, family, parents, children, specifically the mother because it's ruled by the moon, but it could be you as a mother, or again, women, femininity, um, and um, land, property. It's also generational curses and uh, the passing down of knowledge and information from generation to generation. Um, this could also be storytelling. Um, Cancer is like photographs, reflecting on the past, or um, events like reunions, family reunions, home get-togethers, again for a common purpose and cause. So somebody who, if it's not a family reunion, somebody who's a little bit more financially inclined, right? Where you hold family reunions for the purpose of passing down information, teaching, giving knowledge, growing and expanding in some way, shape, or form, or like a coming of age type of thing where we're acknowledging each generation, how they've grown and passing on the baton to the next generation, like things like that, that we really just don't practice that much anymore, but we could see a lot of those things coming into play now, or reconsidering them, or rethinking them, or even if it's not family, because we know we're so separated now today, this can be a call for it, a need for it, especially in the Black community, as people may or may not know. When I do these astrology things, focusing on the Black community is my specialty. That is my purpose for doing this. Just narrowing in on how these topics are specific to our culture, our struggles, and how to heal and get past a lot of those things so that we can grow and evolve. And so, family, if you want your weekly astrology sent to you specific to you and your astrology chart for just $20 a month, you can become a Patreon member. The link is right up here or over here. I always forget what side it's on, but you feel free to become a member so that we can break down these generational curses through healing, through understanding yourself through your astrological chart. And really get down to the bottom of what's blocking you from being the best self that you can be. Also, you can just get a reading, whether that's a life path reading or just a general reading, um, to understand your chart more. You'll have 30 days to listen to a reading. You'll receive a link from right here on YouTube that allows you to go back to it at any given time. And I do break everything down, and you'll also have 30 days to ask any questions about the reading, take notes, and again, have for a lifetime of knowledge and opportunity to grow and learn and understand yourself through your astrology chart. All my information is on my website, which again is the link is up here. It's even in the description box below, too, guys. If you do go to my website, make sure you go on a laptop because you won't get the full website if you go from your phone. It's only going to be certain things that show up. Also, please like, share, and subscribe, family. As you know, or maybe you don't know, the more you like, share, and comment, the more the algorithm works to get my channel in front of a bunch of different people. And yeah, man, we appreciate you in advance. Make sure you hit that notifications bell so you could be notified every time we go live, family. I do appreciate you in advance. But yeah, I think this transit is really going to be reflecting on a lot of the unhealed traumas that we have in the Black community, because Cancer is the axis of the Black American people. Some people will argue it's actually Cancer. Some say it's Capricorn. They're opposite of one another. It is the same, one and the same, if you ask me. I think Capricorn can represent our struggles, and Cancer can represent the nurturing, um, wholeness that we're trying to reach or get back to, the way we were healed, loving, nurturing, caring, etc. Not to be confused with allowing people to walk over us. So we do have to embrace that stronghold, and being able to stand in our power. It's very important to acknowledge that. But essentially, I think this transit, you'll see a lot more people touching on those topics. So anything we've had strong reactions to, the past, our home, we could have been having some moodiness, especially with these eclipses, especially the Scorpio eclipse definitely was bringing up a lot of gunk, a lot of emotions that might have not been that pleasant. It could have brought up changes in our homes and our family. Again, Cancer rules our home, our roots, and our private life. So we can see a lot of topics around mortgages, where we're living, our family, making changes to our home, making plans for the summer, relocating, moving. I feel like it's the same thing, but relocating could be outside of the city or country, and moving can just be in the same city from one apartment to the next. Um, Cancer also has relations to the past, which can lead to opportunities to again forgive, release, heal, and let go of the past. Cancer is ruled by the moon. On a global scale, the moon represents the public. Um, and so we could see, again, a lot of these topics being played out in the public. I unfortunately think that we're going to see a lot of housing prices rising, and conversations coming up about that. The moon represents our deep personal needs, our basic habits, reactions, and our unconscious mind. The moon also rules, again, public. I think this transit can be the saving grace and support to some of the harsher energies we've had from the eclipses. This transit's going to activate the North Node in Taurus, which I've talked about, but Taurus is about the physical world, the physical body, security, values, and our self-worth. We have a lot of planets in Taurus right now, making this a lot of shifts that we are seeing happening in the physical world, right? This can be our finances, resources, um, banking, investments, where we're working, where we're getting our money from, and how we're doing that. Even our skills and talents could change. We could be doing one thing and then move to, like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm really interested in this anymore. Let me try doing something different. Um, the type of food we eat, how we eat food, and even like making our own food. Taurus rules the kitchen and the pantry, so we could start like cooking from scratch. Um, Getting vegan diets and eating more alkaline diets, because Taurus is a earth sign. It's all natural. Even more natural beauty, and a desire for natural beauty in women, and in general, and eating and cooking. I think you can see like a lot of people taking a lot of cooking classes, learning how to farm, um, and understanding the importance of investments, and skills needed to build security. So, how to make your money work for you. I personally like Dr. Boyce Watkins. I think he's on it. He's got something going there when he talks about what he does, and he's passionate about it. He also specializes in working specifically with the Black community. He looks like you, and he's for the culture. I think we need more people like him, even though we do have a lot more people like him. But I also think it'll be people like that that we see coming together, standing up for a cause. Reparations is definitely going to be more of a topic here, for sure. And we can see a lot of people, seeing what they can do about that, or coming together to combat that in some way. Um, bu- 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 I also feel like, because a lot of us are kind of coming out of this psychological conditioning, or awakening from this psychological condition. And I did a video on this, talking about the illusion of power through having a job or a career. And I think that's another thing that's going to shift and change, that we're going to see, right, with all the layoffs happening and things of that nature, can really start to make people question, like, damn, what am I going to do now? And I think we're going to see a lot more people learning how to invest to make money, making money in very unique and different kinds of ways with Uranus having been in with Uranus having been in Taurus since 2018. We're going to think more innovatively when it comes to how we make our money, how we get our money, and what we spend our money on. Um, and so, even if you do have to get a job to do that, whatever that may be, even if it's something that you have to take up that you have no interest in, but it's more so about with intention this time. So, get a job, save, invest, grow your money, make your money work for you. And as you grow and evolve capital, you can start to build and do other things with your money, with your life, change your lifestyle, your life habits, and create more wealth for your family, which is very Cancer oriented. Taurus wants security, Cancer wants security. And I think these are going to be really, really, really big topics that we can see being discussed during this time. Um, Jupiter will sextile Venus. I didn't put dates in here. I will be talking about these transits when they actually do come up. So a lot of this stuff will start to sound really repetitive. I always try my best to find different creative ways to talk about these topics, but um, for the sake of conversation in the moment. Jupiter sextile Venus is very positive. Jupiter is positive, optimistic expansion of love, fun, and excitement. Jupiter is the ruler of the ninth house, and currently we have Aries and Jupiter. So, again, a lot of gurus and mentorship and people that we look up to, that we're getting counsel from, or again, the passing of the baton. We can see a lot of that going on. The elderly passing information down to the younger ones to take their spot, to groom them, preparation. We can see a lot of history. Jupiter rules culture, long distance travel, traveling outside of the country, things around flying uh, 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 the airports. We can see a lot of things coming up around that, but essentially, we can see a lot of people traveling to go see their family, to visit other cultures, to study other cultures, to study the culture. I think that's going to be something that I already am seeing a lot of people tackling and getting really down to the bottom of. The culture that's being sold to us through entertainment. I think we'll see more of this when Mars enters Venus. I'll be doing a video on that. I'm going to go in on that video, which I think is happening July, August. Don't quote me on the time frame. Um, Actually, I think it's going to be in there for an extended amount of time because it's going retrograde. So, um, we got some time to talk about it either way. But how the culture is giving us this illusion of power, and how Taurus is, well, Jupiter's in Aries right now, but it'll move into Taurus, which is going to expand again this understanding of getting back to the root of who we are, where we come from, Cancer energy, the land, our people, where we're from, understanding our roots, our culture, right? I think we're going to see an expansion of this conversation on a really, really big scale. I also think because Jupiter has been in Aries, it's going to be about acting on a lot of these things because we've been doing a lot of talking. Okay, guys. And I really think at this point it's time to start to get down to making some actions, but methodically. And Aries is very strategically, right? So really mapping out your life, sitting down and writing things out, being intentional with your plans. Um, having a budget is not just about saving money. Having a budget is a map of your money so that you can see where your money's going, what's coming out, what you need to maybe like move around and change, right? Because the value of things are changing. What you're interested in is changing because money is changing, right? And so when you write it out, it's like you have a map now of the changes that you need to make and where you're putting your money. Is it making your money grow? You might need to switch some things around if it's not, right? And really understanding what that process is about. I know I keep saying that, and some people might be like, Keisha's fucking crazy. She done lost her damn mind. But I promise you, there's a method. Go do your research. Go. I wish I had somebody that I could guide you to. I just know that through taking like thousands of hundreds of different courses and classes, but it's a real life tool to use to help see where your monies can be doing the best that it can absolutely be doing, what you're spending it on, and how you might need to switch some of those things around because they just don't hold any more value in your life. And it's not helping you grow or evolve. Um, So there could be a lot of um, these types of things going on, philosophies growing, worldviews growing. Um, and Aries is about taking accountability for how you want your Taurus life, security, foundation to look like. Where are you starting to build from? You got to build from the bottom, making sure it's a strong, sturdy foundation to build those blocks on. And the really amazing thing about Taurus energy is it's block by block, like Capricorn or Earth energy. They really take their time, they assess things, and they build day by day. There's no rushing, no worries about rushing. They understand the process in methodical building. And that's going to be a beautiful tempo that we'll have with Jupiter moving into Taurus for the next year. Um, and we can feel like life is grand when we do this, or when we're in alignment with this. We can grow and create, um, get into the basics of things, getting back to the basics of things, and understanding why it's a joy to cook from scratch and make your own food. And I think we can see a lot of farm to table restaurants changing and their values and things of that nature. I definitely think we're going to have a lot more conversations about the food that's coming into a lot of these places, and um, that's a Jupiter and Taurus conversation. I did do a live on that. It is in my link tree. If you want to go check out that video, I broke it all down. But and who are our basic support system? I think we're going to start to meet more new people, or again repair old relationships and really getting down to the bottom of any disputes, arguments, or disagreements. I think people will be more open to family and what that looks like moving forward. Um, we'll focus more on nurturing and securing or security in our relationships, all relationships. This is not just about love. We'll feel more sentimental towards our relationships and what we need in our relationships. We might be more interested in creating a comfortable living space or environment. This is very much housewife stuff, somebody who's if you're not into the whole housewife title, this is somebody who is really good at, there's a name for it, being a good hostess. So when you have company, you're somebody who knows how to make people come in, feel welcome and comfortable, have the right temperatures, glasses in the freezer, nice and cold. Would you like a drink? Serve them, attend to your company. Um, it's really a very warming energy. I feel like I should, when I say this, I'm thinking of down south. I don't know why my saying when I feel really warm and comfortable inside is I feel like cooked soul food. You know, it feels like home. You know, it's very welcoming and warm. Um, but yeah, we could see, experience a lot of this at this during this transit. Um, we might spend more time with the people we consider family or want more intimacy in our relationships and current relationships, or we're looking for deeper intimacy as we walk into relationships. Or if you're dating and you're out there looking, these might be some of your requirements. I also think that we can see things like art, music, again, beauty, things around water. I can only imagine that whole Flint, Michigan thing will come up again. I think I did see a post about it. And I know Florida's been having a bunch of floods and stuff. They could get cleared up now. And we can hear more about any other water issues getting cleared up or the possibility of it, like talks about it. Um, or just the importance of water in general, what kind of water you're drinking, and understanding that for yourself and how important that is. Um, we can be doing a lot of redesigning in the home, however intricate or deep you feel like you need to do that. But this is typically when people take an old piece of wood and kind of uh, what is it, polish, paint it or something, like, all those kind of DIY projects. Again, family reunions, redoing your photo albums, taking pictures for a photo album. And story time, again, passing down the knowledge, from generation to generation, passing down the baton, understanding what you need to feel secure and why you're building what you're building on. I think I just had a conversation with both my client and my son about this topic with Jupiter and sextile and Venus and Cancer can very much be like understanding that real skill comes from your life experiences and not necessarily what you're learning through education, school, or even a course or anything like that. That's the hard skill, right? But the soft skills, the life experience, the school of hard knocks, and what you've been through, your story, your journey is always going to be what sells you in any fields or talent or skill that you have, even wisdom that you have, is always going to be shared or shown through your story, what you've been through, what made you great. And if you go back and listen to anybody who's made it, who's considered to be, somebody who lived a great life, if you will, they always refer to, no matter what field they're in, whenever they're talking, they always talk about their story, their journey through their skill or talent, and kind of what gives them the uh, ranks to be as great as they are. It's not just the education they have, not just the money that they have, but their life experiences is what their foundation is on. And I think a lot of the time when we hear people talk about money, we don't hear enough people talk about how your skill comes from your life experiences. For example, you can see people who've spent years in college. I know I've seen people go through years of college. I'm pretty sure you can think of a few people who've spent years in college and they're still dumb fools. No pun and point and no pun intended, just a true fact, right? Why is that? Well, maybe they were privileged and didn't have much life experience, um, don't really know much about what it means to struggle or to have to fight for something. Things like that can really diminish your education no matter how smart you are. Just like wisdom doesn't equate to intellect. You can be as intellectually prowess as you want to be, but without the wisdom or the experience to go behind what you're saying, it might be harder to relate, or to put your perspective in a way that is relatable to others as something that can be packaged, sold, and bought. You know what I mean? And so we really have to be, again, Taurus wants us to go way back to the beginning, to the roots of who you are at your very core, who you were when you were poor, when you didn't have, who are you at your core self, that makes you great, and talk about your story and how you grew each way up. And that's where you see the skill, right? And so understanding that that's where your money's going to come from, that's where your money's going to grow from, as long as you're always operating from this is who I am because I've been through this is my journey. um yeah, I went off on a little tangent there. Hopefully it made sense. But Venus will sextile Mercury. So we're reworking, rethinking, rebudgeting. We have an opportunity from the eclipse to do things differently than we did prior to the eclipse. So eclipses kind of make things come down, crushing down, things that you don't need, you don't want. You might have had to look at your fears or disappointments in relationships and friendships and groups and disharmony and socializing, or your lack of boundaries, lack of self-esteem. Um, but this is an opportunity to heal. And we can realize that we've outgrown certain places and spaces. We've outgrown family dynamics, friendships, and relationships. But essentially, um, this was about um, healing our ancestral trauma, right? Venus trine South Node, which we'll see also. Um, and this is where now we can be walking around as if, well, what am I going to do now that I don't do that old thing anymore? Or now that I don't have that old thing to lean on anymore? All these things kind of left my life. They filled up my space. And now you got to fill them in with newer, better habits, patterns, um, purpose, and reasons for doing things, for the love of, um, and that can be around Cancer themes, so family, again, nurturing, um, comfort, security, emotional security. Um, it could be about learning about your past, your family generational curses and struggles, and what they learned through that journey. This could also be learning about the stock market, building capital, and how you would like to pass that down from generation to generation. Um, what have you learned from the past? Are you going to repeat those patterns? Why are these patterns coming up? To make these changes, you need to grow and evolve. Um, Venus will trine Saturn, which I think is also really going to help with this, is that we're realizing it's important to have boundaries. It's important to be aware that why they exist. And it's not only to keep balance and fairness, but also to protect your relationship you have with yourself. Um, um, which is also another thing that Scorpio eclipse was teaching us. Sometimes we have to make difficult decisions to protect our home and our hearts. Um, but it's a necessary evil. Like I said, that Cancer energy is nice and sweet, but don't be so naive to give that away to everybody. And that's what the boundaries does. So you really want to look at where Saturn and Pisces is, in your chart, your Pisces area of life, that's going to show you where you might have a lot of vulnerabilities, lack of direction, lack of clarity, addictions, um, naivety, even that are the weakest links in your ability to build stronger connections, holding people accountable, and things of that nature. Um, I think that's going to allow us to make new friends, get support, security, and love. Even we can get this through older relatives, again, if it's not through stories or information that we're reading culturally, um, and information passed down. Um, yeah, there's a lot going on there. But we'll talk about that trend. I'll be going into all these trends. It's a lot deeper, like I explained. Because I'll be here for another hour just talking about that, honest to God. I'm trying to stop myself. Like, I'm gonna do the other video, Pluto and Aquarius from an evolutionary astrology perspective. Because I think this kind of leads into what we're doing here. I might not post it until Sunday. I try not to overwhelm people with the videos, doing a whole bunch of videos. So hopefully, family, as usual, you found this information helpful. I love and appreciate you. Peace.